Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Once more again, we would like to talk about the TN visa. This one majorly will cover citizens of Canada and Mexico. Now, the TN visa is a special non-immigrant visa that allows citizens of Canada and Mexico to work in the United States in a specific professional occupation under the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, formerly known as NAFTA. This visa will facilitate business relations among these three nations by enabling qualified professionals to work for U.S. employers in pre-approved fields. What is the purpose of TN visa? The primary purpose of TN visa is to allow professionals from Canada and Mexico to engage in employment in the U.S. for a U.S. employer in a designated occupation. Unlike other work visas, the TN visa is relatively easier to obtain and does not require employer sponsorship through the H-1B visa lottery or a complex petition process. So this one is easier. But then the only challenge is it is only made for the citizens of either Canada or Mexico. Eligibility requirements. To qualify for a TN visa, what are some of the eligibility or what are some of the requirements? So to qualify for a TN visa, the applicant must meet the following requirements. Citizenship, the applicant must be a citizen of either Canada or Mexico. Permanent residence do not qualify. Approved profession. The job position must be listed under the TN occupational list as defined in the U.S. United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement. Some examples include engineers, accountants, lawyers, pharmacists, scientists, and teachers. Job offer. A valid job offer from a U.S. employer is required. Self-employment is not allowed under the TN visa. Educational/professional qualification. The applicant must meet the specific education and experience requirements for the profession, such as a bachelor's degree, relevant certification, or work experience. Temporary stay. The applicant must prove that their stay in the U.S. is temporary and that they do not intend to pursue permanent residence while on a TN visa. Types of TN visa. The TN visa has two main types. The first one being TN1 visa for Canadian citizens. Canadian citizens can apply for a U.S. at a U.S. port of entry, airport, or land border without the need for a pre-approved visa. No visa stamp is required. Instead, U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers review documentation and approve the status. The second one is TN2, visa for Mexican citizens. Mexican citizens must apply for a TN visa stamp at a U.S. consulate before entering the United States. Once approved, they can travel to the U.S. and request TN status at the port of entry. Required documents for TN visa application. Valid passport. One must have a valid passport for the duration of the stay. A job offer letter from a U.S. employer detailing the job title, duties, salaries, and TN eligible occupation. Proof of qualification, such as degree, certifications, or work experience letters. Completed DS-160 form for Mexican applicants applying at a U.S. consulate. Visa application fee receipt for Mexican applicants. Resume and supporting documents such as professional licenses if applicable. Proof of intent to return, optional but recommended to show that the stay is temporary. TN visa duration and renewals. Initial stay. The TN visa is granted for up to 3 years. Renewal, it can be renewed indefinitely, but the applicant must continue to prove that the stay is temporary. Change of employer. TN visa holders must reapply if they switch to a new employer. TN visa interview, common questions and answers. The applicants, especially Mexican citizens, must attend an interview at the United States Consulate. And some of the common questions would include, what is the purpose of your trip to the US? Someone will say, I have a job offer from company XYZ as an engineer who qualifies under the TN visa program. What company will you be working for and what are your job duties? I'll be working for company XYZ and my responsibilities include ABCD. So you have to know what company you are coming to work for in the United States. Apart from that, you should also be able to tell what are your job duties. Do you meet the educational and professional requirement for this position? That is also another possible question. Yes, I hold a bachelor's degree from XYZ University and I have 10 years of experience in this particular field that I'm being hired for. How long do you plan to stay in the US? I plan to stay for as per my job contract and return to my home country after my employment period ends. Do you have any ties to your home country, Canada or Mexico? Yes, I have a family, property or other commitments in my home country, ensuring my intent to return home. You can show things such as the logbooks, land title deed, house titles. These are some of the things that will show that you intend to go back home. Have you ever been denied a US visa or had any previous immigration violation? If applicable, explain the situation and provide supporting documents. Will you be working for any other employer or starting your own business? No. I'll only be working for my company as per my TN visa conditions. Benefits of the TN visa. Fast processing. Canadian applicants can apply for the border at the border and get same-day approval. No annual capitation. Unlike the H-1B visa, there is no numerical limit on TN visa. Lower costs, no need for costly employer sponsorship or visa lotteries. Indefinite renewals. Unlike the H-1B visa, TN status can be extended multiple times. Limitations of the TN visa. No direct paths to green card. TN visa holders must switch to another visa category if they wish to apply for permanent residency. Only certain professionals qualify. If a job is not on the USMCA TN list, the applicant is ineligible. Limited to specific employers. Changing jobs requires a new TN application. In conclusion, the TN visa is an excellent option for Canadian and Mexican professionals seeking employment in the United States in designated occupations. It is fast processing, low cost, indefinite renewability makes it highly attractive. However, its temporary nature and lack of direct green card eligibility can be a drawback for those seeking long-term US residence. With the proper documentation and meeting requirements, securing a TN visa can be a smooth process, allowing professionals to work in the US while maintaining strong ties to their home country. So with this in mind, then we are saying that if you decide to pursue this path, especially if you're from Canada or Mexico, it is a good option. For us, we thank you for your support. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe to our video and our YouTube channels. Thank you.